And then mute,
There it is.
mute, and then mute the computer.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Can you hear and see me okay?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yep.
Perfect. Where do you live, bro?
I live in Idaho. Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Idaho Falls. Okay, guys, this is my client, Josh. I was telling him a little about your story. Basically what I'm going to do, bro, is I'm going to ask you questions. Just have a conversation. And I just started doing this, like interviewing my clients who have, done amazing, because I want you to help the people watching and, with their own fitness journey and give them tips on how you got the results. But let's start first. How did you get into fitness? Not necessarily my program, but just in general. Give me some background information about you.
So I've always been, of course, intrigued, just like everybody. Everybody wants to be fit and, get in shape, but never really did anything. I basically didn't get my rock bottom. Anyway, so I started in 2018. I got kind of fit, and then for reasons I'm no longer married for, I stopped working out. Anyway, so I kind of just got lackadaisical and just, well, I got a little meaty.
So did you work out
basically,
as a kid though? Like as a teenager?
Not really. I mean, I did in high school, like, because you had to take PE classes or gym classes or whatever.
Okay.
So I did that and I enjoyed that, but I was never really in depth with it. I actually got quite the opposite, got into not the good crowd with drugs and alcohol and all that kind of fun thing. So got away from it. And then so I was never really huge into it. I was always intrigued. I used to be relatively fit, but I got married, had kids, got lazy.
So in 2000, so 5 years ago.
Yep, 2018. Yep.
So would you say you started because of, cosmetic reasons, physical health? Some people want to get their blood pressure lowered. They just want to look better. What's like for me, I started working out just to like have an outlet,
right,
like alone time when I was way younger, like let out frustration and stuff. But why initially did you start working out? Just because you wanted to feel better physically?
Yeah, because I wanted to feel better physically. I wanted to try to be a better example for my kids.
Okay.
I was on high blood pressure medication. I had, all sorts of fun little medical issues. The whole bend over to tie your shoes and you got to stop breathing for that entire time because you're too fat. Yeah, one of those kinds of things.
How much did you weigh then?
So back then, I was about 220 back then. And I only worked out for about 3 months. I got down to 180. I actually did really well. But then, like I said, things happened. I couldn't keep going, and I went back to my old ways. I fell out of good habits.
How tall are you, though? So you can tell people watch.
6'1" or 6'2". I don't know, but like 6'1", I think.
So you weren't super heavy, 6'1", 220, but you were just all body fat.
Yeah, it was all fat. There was no physique to it. It was just, I mean, I was in shape. It was just the shape was round, is what it was.
Yeah. Okay, so you got down to 180.
Yep.
And then what happened?
Well, and then, like I said, life happened. I had some personal dramas that happened, and so I stopped going to the gym entirely, stopped everything. So, and I tried periodically to go back. I mean, since then, I mean, I've gotten divorced. There's been all sorts of fun life events, but I've tried to go back, and I couldn't find that motivation. And then I came across your information. I believe it was in 2021. I come across the stuff that you did. I signed up with you and got started, but again, I basically I didn't have my why is what it was. It's like I knew that I wanted to get in shape, but I didn't know why I wanted to get in shape. I didn't have that. I don't know. I call it my rock bottom. I didn't have my rock bottom yet. So I signed up with you. I think it was for a 3-month or 6-month, and honestly, I did nothing with it. And then came back to you. I think it was in November I signed up again, and it was kind of the same path. And then really, it kind of, so the doctor didn't really tell me anything. I went to the doctor and he said, "Hey, you're stupid, you're fat." Um, Basically, he didn't say that, but he said, "You really need to look and start doing something different." And I let it kind of go to the wayside. But really, the biggest thing is I found my why. My why being my kids. So my youngest son is 13, and he's a little heavier. And I knew that influence was a lot to do with me, because I just ate whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, however I wanted, and however much I wanted. And anyways, so that was my kids are my why. I've got a 16-year-old daughter, and I've got a 13-year-old son. And I found my why. And so in January, there was a local supplement store that was running a fitness challenge, and it was obviously getting in shape. It was an 8-week deal, kind of like what you're doing currently. And I signed up with that, and that kind of gave me the motivation. It was a monetary motivation. That was my external, hey, look, I can make a couple $100. But obviously, being January, everybody was doing the whole new year, new me. And so there's a whole bunch of those kinds of things going on. But that wasn't my why. I mean, that gave me a little bit of that external motivation, but the main motivation was my kids. And since really, and honestly, Luke, you made things super easy. Just every week I was able to check in and send you pictures of my super sexy belly. Yeah, buddy.
No, we'll get to my plan. I want to know more about you, though. So you mentioned your rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're willing to or want to share, but like, what was your rock bottom to make you? I mean, you said that your why's your kids, but then you said you reached rock bottom. But coming from an outsider, you weren't really that heavy. So what do you mean when you say rock bottom? Like, what was your? Well, I mean, you got divorced. I've been divorced too, bro. So I feel that. But like, what do you think was your? I mean, not to say if you don't want to, but what do you think was your like low point that made you want to turn your fitness around, your health around? Besides,
So honestly, the biggest thing was I was drinking a lot too, a lot, and I come home one day, and I was actually so I got drunk and came home, and I couldn't even function with my kids. This was right about Christmas that this happened.
7 months ago?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And like I couldn't function. I passed out on the floor. I came inside and I just kind of sat down or on the couch, sat down to take my shoes off. And then I woke up like 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was kind of messed up. I had to get up, go to work the next day, and which, I mean, I was getting used to getting up and
what do you do for work?
Yes. So I run an automotive repair shop.
Okay.
So I don't work on the cars or anything like that anymore. Thank goodness. That's a different kind of hard on your body. But yeah, so I run an automotive repair shop. So that's what I do.
So it's like your shop?
What's that?
Is your shop?
No, it's not my shop. I work for somebody else, but I run it. So I'm the shop manager.
So you're a car guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or you're a car guy growing up too?
No, actually, honestly enough, so I've never really had a lot of like my dad he was around, but he wasn't really around. He was always at work and then tired, and that was a different dynamic. But no, so I never really had much of a really any kind of influence. My dad works for the government, and something where he'd have to kill me if he told me what he did or something. Who knows? It's drama.
But what do you do for cars, or have you worked there forever?
No, I haven't. So I used to work at Sears years ago selling treadmills and lawnmowers.
That's a throwback, bro. Is Sears even around?
Negative. No.
There was one. Nope. I'm from Missouri. I don't know if you knew. I'm from Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Wow.
I mean, I'm in Miami now, and I lived all over. But I'm from Columbia, Missouri. where the university is.
Yeah.
So, and you're from Idaho
Yeah.
Falls.
Yep, Idaho Falls. I'm about an hour and a half away from Yellowstone National Park.
Hold on, I'm terrible at geography. Idaho Falls. So that's like Boise, Idaho, like Wyoming, Washington.
It's close to Wyoming. It's kind of right on we're in the northeast, or well, it's southeast Idaho, but Idaho kind of comes down like this little weird.
Is it
I
close
don't
to
know.
the university?
No, University of Idaho's northern Idaho, where all the murders happened. Yeah,
Dude,
no.
I was just
Yeah.
I was just gonna bring that up with you. So when that happened, I was fascinated. I guess the guy goes on trial soon. I don't know when the first thing is, but I was following it up until they caught him, and hopefully it's him or
Right.
whatever. But so you're
Yeah.
not close to the school.
No, that's like a 14-hour drive or something. It's quite a ways
Oh my
away.
God. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I'm right by where Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming meet, right there in the corner.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm about an hour and a half away from Montana or from Yellowstone National Park. I'm like an hour and a half from Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, back
Boise
to
is
your
on.
rock bottom. So you're working at the car shop.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I never, like I said, never really was a car guy. I just got into it. I started out selling cars, and then got into the service side of it, and then just kind of went from there. But yeah, so I was drinking a lot. Had my own personal struggles there, which is something that it's a familial thing. There's been a lot of drinking in my family past, and so it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. But anyway, so I yeah, just kind of was messed up around Christmas and couldn't function with my kids. And that's when I decided to really start taking things seriously. January 10th was my last drink. Haven't had a drop of alcohol since.
I was going to ask you about that because I know a lot of people watching have struggled. Dude, I've struggled with personal stuff that I don't really talk about in personal life. Not necessarily that, but I've struggled with personal stuff too. Can I ask you questions about that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So did you do meetings to stop or what did you do?
No, I went to the gym. So I have an addictive nature, and I know that. I will find something and I'll latch onto something. And for the last couple of years, it's been alcohol. But I knew that if I could find something else I could latch onto, then I would find a way out. But I had to be able to latch onto it, and that's where working out, going to the gym, that's where fitness has come in. I easily spend as much money on supplements now that I did on alcohol then. Easily.
So you've what do they say? Transferred addictions to a healthy one, obviously.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
That's awesome, man. So how many? So what do you have? Do you have a sober date? Like, are you that serious about it, or what? Like,
Yeah.
was it that intense?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was honestly. So I'd drink anything that'd come in a bottle or a can. Really didn't care. There for the last few months, it was primarily bottles. The liquor store employees knew me by name.
So how much were you drinking? Like a fifth a night, or like?
I was about a fifth every other day.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I developed. I don't know how this happened. I went from drinking the cheap stuff to the more expensive stuff.
Yeah.
So I developed expensive drinking habits, which that didn't help.
So what's your sober date though?
January 11th.
January 11th. So you're 6 months sober. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thanks, man.
That's a long time. Yeah. Okay, so you transferred. So you started. So that's kind of your rock bottom.
Yep.
And I'm assuming at this time you weren't working out when you're drinking a fifth every other day. You're not. We're going to the gym.
No, I tried, and that was not a good idea.
Yeah. I always tell people like alcohol is like the worst on your system, on your muscles and your recovery and everything. But okay, anyway, so you started your fitness, or you got back into it, and then you started at what, 220, or in January?
January. I was 235.
235. Is that before Pitch Got Post?
Yeah. Yes, I believe so.
Times?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 235. Within 8 weeks, I was down to, I think I got down to 215 in 8 weeks. And then
20
and
pounds.
right now I'm currently at what was that, 186 this morning, 185. So I'm down about 50 pounds
Since
since January 11th, basically.
So there you go, guys. Since January 11th, down 50 pounds,
Mhm.
which is, I mean, that's incredible, first of all, but that's about 50 pounds. That's about like 8 pounds, 8 pounds a month. So I want you to
Mhm.
give the people watching, help them out a little. So, well, first of all, what switched in your mind shift? What made you say, all right, I've had enough. I'm finally going to make a change? Because, people say that all the time. Maybe not
Yeah.
necessarily with your specific situation, but as far as working out, I know I say that about certain stuff, and you
Right.
procrastinate. So, what made
Yeah.
you actually take action? Were you just like, screw it, I've
Um,
had enough, or?
yeah, I mean, pretty much. I knew that if I could make it through one day without drinking before going to the gym, that I should be able to, as long as I continue and keep that habit, I should be able to do it. So really, I went day one, January 11th, went to the gym. And then I tried going at nights, and I did fine. I'd go at nights, but really, I had to switch to mornings because otherwise, first thing in the morning, got to the point where I was wanting to have a drink, like on my way to work. That's not kosher pickles. Um,
Man, so
so
you didn't do anything. Sorry to bring it back up, but you didn't do anything. You just had the mental strength. You didn't have like, people have what do they call them, sponsors or,
like
yeah. I mean, you have a support system in Idaho.
I no, I could, and I'm not. The strange thing is, I'm not typically the kind of person that has that kind of mental strength to do that, because I've tried many times in the past to quit, and again, I really had to hit that rock bottom where I had the realization that if I kept on the path I was going, my kids were going to grow up alone.
And your kids live with you?
They
Or
It's 50-50 custody. They
50?
come back and forth. Yeah.
Okay, so
hmm Yeah. So they go with their mom.
you see them frequently
I do. Yes.
though. Okay,
Yes, I
so
do.
you got
Uh,
in the gym. Was it hard at first?
oh God, bro. The first week, I couldn't walk. I had the worst soreness in my freaking calves and my legs. I remember one night, God, what was it? I woke up. I had to go to the bathroom. I woke up and I freaking collapsed on the floor. Like, I rolled out of bed and I stepped down on one of my feet and I just freaking bleh, like a
Like
big
after
old tub of jelly on the
legs?
ground. Oh yeah,
So
dude. Yeah.
in January when you went to the gym, how long was it since your last workout? Like when was the last time you went to the gym from January before?
Like, and actually did a workout. It had been about 5 years. I mean, it was 2018, right
Five
around there.
years?
hmm
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Like I said, I tried going um, periodically, but I mean, I go like get on the treadmill or do something like that. I hadn't actually done a real workout until January. But yeah, I've been about 5 years.
Okay. And then, so it was hard at first. And then
Mhm.
what made you, stick with it? Like, do you enjoy lifting weights? Do you enjoy work? I mean, it sounds like now you do because you have
Yeah,
good solid results.
yeah. And still, even now, it depends on the day. Obviously, every day I don't have the super desire to go,
Yeah.
um, but I feel better. But you know, I thought I enjoyed it, and I used to when I was a kid. I enjoyed it when I was in high school and that kind of stuff, and I kept that in my head that, well, I used to like doing this, so I can't be that bad. And it sucked for me for a while. For the first couple of months, it was everything. I took everything in me to go to the gym every day, but I knew my alternative was, again, is my kids being raised without me, and that's not fair to them.
No, I mean, you've obviously set a great example, man.
Yeah.
Now, were you training? Let's talk kind of specifics.
Okay.
Were you training in the morning or evening? You said mornings.
So initially, I was doing it in the evening. I was going after work. Turns out that's when the rest of the world goes to the gym. So it was a little tough. So I had to switch up to mornings, and typically, I'd get up at 5 o'clock and go in the morning. and get there, do my workout before, before going to work.
Okay, and you found that was best just to get it out of the way.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was for a little while. But now my son likes coming with me, so now I wait until he's around. When he's here, I go in the evenings.
13-year-old.
13. Yep.
16.
13. My daughter's 16 and my son's 13. My son likes coming with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, my daughter has friends. I don't know what that is anymore, but you know.
Well, the first time I lifted weights was with my dad in my family's basement in the house I grew up in when I was 13.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the first time I ever like lifted a weight.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got you know how I structure my plans is, you know, the workouts, cardio, meal plan. What do you think is the hardest part for you?
Oh, I'm a fat kid. The meal plan is the hardest, man.
Yeah.
It's, you know, if you look on anybody's information, they're going to say that, you know, going to gym is the easy part. It's 10% of the fitness journey is the gym, and the other 90% is the eating. But I say that kind of obviously jokingly. You made the meal plan incredibly easy. It's very straightforward. It's, you know, hey, eat this, only this, and you'll get there, which I did. Did that for quite a few months actually, and just last month signed up with Flex Pro.
Oh, awesome.
Just for time in the summer. Because obviously meal prepping it's a time consuming thing, but it's necessary. So the hardest part for me was definitely the food portion, sticking to that, and not just eating all the crap that's all over the place. You know, I mean, I still, when we have family functions and do that kind of stuff, I'll still have food with them. I just don't eat all of the food anymore. You know, I've gained self-control that way, but yeah, I mean, really, so I guess the hardest part for me was the self-control with food.
You obviously did a really good job, though. So, are you meal prepping, or how are you setting up? Like, are you meal prepping, weighing it, putting it in Tupperware? Are you eyeing it? Like, how have you set up? You know, I know the meal plan I gave you, but how are you actually implying it?
Yep. So I do, when I do meal prepping, I do weigh it all out and I put it into containers. I was actually putting into I'd go to Costco and get Ziploc bags by like the trillions.
Yeah.
And I would just weigh it out into bags. And that way each morning before I'd go to work, I could snag one of each, my, you know, the protein, the carb, the whatever veg it was that went along with it. And yeah, I just snagged that so that I could just microwave it at work real quick and eat up.
And then before, like, let's say like 2 years ago, you've never meal prepped before.
No, never.
Or you've never ate clean. You just, you know, like most people who like aren't into fitness, you know, you just ate 2 or 3 times a day, whatever you want.
Yep.
And you just flips to see me. Most people can't do that. That's why you've seen such good results, because you take this serious, you know?
Yeah.
So the food was the hardest part. Yeah, food's the hardest part for a lot of people, including me. So, but what do you think are the keys to sticking to a meal plan? Preparation, obviously.
Yeah. You've got to have it prepped. You've got to have it ready to go. You can't say, oh, well, I'll just cook it when it's time to eat. No, you won't.
Yeah. So
you're going to be, yes.
Ah, good for you, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a lot. So in the summertime, like I said, I did the Flex Pro. That makes it so much easier, dude.
Yeah.
Good Lord. And and it's awesome because, I mean, obviously it all tastes amazing. So that's a different plug, I guess.
And then, well, yeah, no, I'm not trying to plug stuff. I want to talk to you. But then,
I know.
Since January, and be honest here, because I'm genuinely curious too. And guys, I posted Josh's pictures several times. You know, after this live, go on my page and look at it. But I want to give people an idea. So you lost what, 50 pounds? You said since January.
Yep. 50 pounds.
Since 6 months. So 50 pounds in 6 months. How many cheat meals have you had? Now, when I say cheat meal, I mean like burgers and fries, not like steak at a restaurant or something like.
So honestly, I can count on one hand, how many times I've gone out to like a McDonald's or Burger King and I've had something from there.
In the past
Um,
6 months.
yes, sir. Honest to God,
No, I believe you.
it
Bro.
blows my mind.
Your results show it. I just want the people to know that like you can't be cheating
Yeah.
and have great results.
No, that has taken a lot. Again, I'm not typically the type of person that just has this flip a switch and things change, but it happened this time because I found my why. I found what's important to me, and it's not me. So I'm not the important one. It's my kids. So I had to have that for that to happen. But yeah, I mean, my kids still like to have, burgers or tacos or whatever, and I'll get it for them, or I'll just occasionally. I don't do it all the time. I still try to be a good influence, but I'm still quite the sucker for my kids. So I do that a lot more than I probably should.
Well,
Anyway,
kids, kids.
yeah,
13 and 16.
yeah, and that's my thoughts on it. Is they're kids, and as long as I teach them healthy habits along the way,
Yeah.
it'll get instilled in them eventually. But so I just don't have it. I just don't eat it. Like yesterday, for instance, I went to the gym, did cardio, did my fasted cardio, had what did I have to do? I have to do something else. Anyway, so I went to Jack in the Box, got my kids breakfast from Jack in the Box because that's what they wanted. And I came home and I had eggs and an apple because that's my breakfast meal.
So do you enjoy, I mean, you said you're a big eater, but are you enjoying the meal plan food? Like, are you making it taste good, or how are you preparing it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I make it taste. Yeah. I don't eat that crap bland. No way.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be talking to me now if that was the case. So yeah, quite a few years ago, I found Flavor God seasonings.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah. And yeah, just like the Flavor King or whatever it is, that stuff's bomb. If it wasn't for those seasonings, yeah, that stuff's great. And like the ground beef, I usually use taco seasoning because it's 10 calories a serving or something like that.
Yeah, super.
And yeah, and I just like use half of the amount because I do double the meat with the regular like one packet of the seasoning stuff, and it still tastes awesome. It's great.
And are you hungry throughout the day?
Sometimes, yeah, it happens.
Not
but
that bad though.
No, not really. I mean, eating 5 times a day, so that's.
You've lost a lot of weight, bro. So when you lose weight, most people will get hungry because your metabolism is revved up and you're losing body fat. So I always tell people, like, if you're hungry, that's a good sign. It means you're losing body fat.
Yeah.
But to lose 50 pounds, you haven't been days where you're starving, or I guess you're really busy too.
Yeah,
keep your mind off food.
Yep, I try to keep myself busy. I will go out and work on cars now again because that helps keep my mind active and thinking about other things. But also, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're going to get hungry. And I've gotten hungry, but I've never felt like I was starving or dying.
Okay, good.
I just set up specific times that I'll eat, depending on whether I work out in the morning or in the afternoon. And yeah, so I mean, eating 5 times in your meal plan has. I mean, there are some days that I had a hard time finishing how much food was for that specific meal. But I started seeing results. I was getting rid of my dicky do. My belly was hitting the wall before my dicky do. So I was getting rid of that.
Though, have you had struggles finishing all the meals recently?
No, not recently.
Because you're lean. Because you lost. Yeah, it takes a minute for you to get hungry.
Yeah.
You
So no, yeah,
belly, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really, really lean.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and that's the thing is if anybody's going into this thinking that it's just going to be a walk in the park, it's not. It's work.
Yeah,
it is work. It's
a lot of work. So let's talk. Okay, so we talked food. Let's talk weights. Do you enjoy weight training?
I do now. Okay. Yes. If I don't get to the gym, my day's not complete. There's some days that I'll get up at 5 o'clock and go to the gym, or there's some days where, like when I've got my son, we don't get home until 11 o'clock at night. But it completes my day. It really does.
And were you familiar with a lot of the exercises? I know you said you weight
Mhm.
trained when you were younger, but
No, so I mean, I had a general idea on how to do things. I did not know how to have proper form or what to do, and that's
yeah,
where. So you have your YouTube page has been instrumental in teaching me how to
thank
do a
you.
lot of the
I
workouts.
appreciate it. I need to update it with some new new videos. But you utilized it?
Oh, every day. I used it yesterday at the gym with my son.
Okay,
Um,
awesome. That's good to hear.
it's
That's good to hear.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I use the crap out of your YouTube. I watch it all the time. It's the only thing that I do on YouTube. I'm old, so I don't do a lot of that
How
stuff.
old
But
are you?
that
Oh,
43.
you're not
I'm not
old,
an
bro.
antique, but
You're not old. I'm 33.
yeah.
I turned 34 in 2 months.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So weight training. What gym do you go to in Idaho?
So I've got a membership at two gyms now, actually. Look at me go. So I go to Gold's Gym and Planet Fitness.
Oh, you have a
Um,
Gold's Gym there?
yeah, we do.
Nice.
Yep. There's
It's a big contrast. So I mean,
huge.
you're not from like a bodybuilding fitness background, but you see the difference between a Planet Fitness and a Gold's, right?
Planet Fitness is superb when you want to do
Yeah.
cardio, but if you want to do weight training, you are shit out of luck, man.
Yeah. I mean, so a lot of my clients do train and Planet Fitness because they just want weight loss.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of them like aren't as serious as you are or taking it, you know.
Mhm.
So Planet Fitness is great. They just have limited machines. They don't have
Mhm.
plate loaded equipment. I'm a big
No.
fan of plate loaded.
Yep. Yep.
What's
And
your?
that's
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say, and that's where Gold's Gym really, I mean, it fills every slot in the box.
What's your favorite body part to train?
Uh, uh, depends on the week, depends on how sore I am.
Yeah.
But it usually back or shoulders is probably
Okay.
my favorite. Um, when I was younger, legs used to be my favorite, but that has definitely evolved. Not my favorite day of the week.
Yeah.
So thanks for Monday.
Well, you probably got some aches and pains. No.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's then I actually talked to you about that because I mean every week I'm sore and not like a bad sore, but every week I've got something sore, and I emailed you about that, and you're like, well, yeah, that you're doing stuff. What do you expect?
So
Not
here's
important, but
so it's only. I mean, you're gonna get sore. I have a funny
yeah.
story. When I was personal training. Because when I first started this, I did online training and in gym training. When I was personal training, I was training a guy on arms, and he was doing curls, and he was like, "Oh man, my bicep is kind of tight, or it's like really
Right.
like hard to move." And I was like, "Oh, was there a sharp pain in the elbow joint, or is it just like kind of full, tight feeling?" And he said, "Oh, it's just tight feeling." I'm like, "Dude," I joke. I'm like, "You're not going to the circus. Like, it's not." You're
Right.
lifting weights. It's going to be a little painful, but you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have a sharp pain in your
No.
joints. And it shouldn't be lasting,
Right.
but you're definitely going to be sore in the muscle. But you should know the difference between like a muscle soreness and a joint soreness.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it's easy to tell the longer you've been lifting. But, okay, so cardio.
Mm-hmm.
How much cardio do I have you doing? How much cardio are you doing?
Yep. So it's 4 days a week. It's half an hour of LISS, the low intensity steady state, which is great.
And that's how you've been doing since January?
Yeah. Well, no, you had some hit in there, but I don't remember when it changed. It went to the 30 minutes of LISS, and I mean, that's right up
I
my
like
alley. I
that.
don't know why, but I can do it.
Man, it's crazy that you have a really good metabolism.
Yeah.
Have you ever done your blood work?
Yes, and that's one thing I have been trying to keep up on is trying to make sure that I don't have anything weird going on. But yes, when I first started well, no, not when I first started. I knew what my blood work would have looked like when I first started, and it would have been 80% alcohol and 20% actual blood.
That's okay.
But
That happens.
right, but yeah, so I have had blood tests done a couple times. My main focus was on testosterone levels because obviously I'm getting a little bit older. Want to make sure that that's okay, which has been awesome. I've been taking some supplements for that to help keep that, was like testosterone boosting stuff. But I've always been pretty fortunate there. But yeah, my blood work, I've had that done at least to make sure that I'm not dying.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I say your metabolism is very fast, so you've lost 50, or very good, because 50 pounds in 6 months, and you're only doing 30 minutes of cardio for 4 days. I know for me to lose weight, I would have to do more than that, bro. I would have to do a lot.
Yeah.
So that's a testament to your metabolism, and it's a testament to you following your meal plan, because you can't just, you can't outwork your diet or your calories. I'm sure you know that by now. Yeah. What do you do for cardio? Just treadmill?
It depends on the day. So I've got some back issues, so I'll do treadmill. Walk on the treadmill at a 6% incline, 3.3 miles an hour for half an hour. But if sometimes that hurts my lower back or my upper back, so I'll get on a recumbent bike or an upright bike. Just anything. I bought myself a little fancy smartwatch so that I can track my heart rate. But just make sure the heart rate stays between 110 to 140 where you've got it set, and just go.
So where is your heart rate when you do 6 and 3.3?
So typically around 118 to 125.
Okay, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Because I try to tell people for fat burning, it's not about. Actually, this is a really good. I like to use this analogy. So with physique, fitness, bodybuilding. I know you're not bodybuilding, but like improving your physique, it's not like other avenues or other activities like basketball. If you go harder, you'll probably perform better. Where physique, if you go harder, you're not necessarily going to see better results, because it just depends on how your body responds. So for fat loss, like if you were sprinting, you're not necessarily going to see better fat loss results. You may lose like more weight, but not actual fat. So that's why I like the list. Just go at a steady pace. Because you can't just like work harder and see better results, because the body's going to respond to how it's going to respond. You know, like football, if you play harder, you'll probably do better. But with physiques, with like physique training or bodybuilding fitness, it's not. You got to give your body rest. Like, how many days off from weights do you do? 2, right?
2 days. Yep.
2 days. Okay, 2 days. Okay, so you're 186.
Yep.
What's your goals?
Well, now my current goal is to be able to see my abs, and it's coming.
Man,
it's coming.
Close. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. So
go ahead.
What's that? No,
I said,
go ahead.
have
You're
you
good.
done your body fat measurement?
No. I that is something I need to do, but no, I have not done that.
So the thing with the body fat measurement, I'm not a huge fan of it, because the different devices are inaccurate usually. But I do tell people, if you do your body fat, always keep it at the same apparatus machine that you do it. You know, so if you do like the one that you hold the handles, do that every week, because even if the number's inaccurate, as long as it goes down, that's all that matters. Does that make sense?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm definitely, that's a good way to measure your progress. The true body fat measurement that I'm familiar with, that's like 100% accurate, it's called DEXA. It's a DEXA scan where you like lay down and they do like bone density and muscle density and all this crazy stuff. It's like $50 at like a hospital or university. But I would say your body fat is pretty low. I would say it's like 12-ish. You know? Yeah, cool. It's definitely pretty low. So your goal is to see your abs. Do you have a specific weight goal?
Not particularly. So weight is something that I'm really not trying to focus on. I mean, it's a good thing for a measurement aspect in my mind, but my weight's going to fluctuate depending on what my body's doing that week. You know, maybe I'm on my period. Who knows?
No, but I mean, overall though, like, are you? Well, what is your ideal physique?
Yeah. So I mean, ideal physique is.
Like
you know, I
ripped or like 200 jacked.
Like, like about where I'm at, about 180, 190 is what I wanted to be.
Okay.
I'm trying to kind of alter that. I'm thinking maybe I want to get up to about 200,
Okay.
get a little more muscle on me. But yeah, I mean, yeah, really the biggest thing that I've just been focusing on is being able to be active with my kids again, go out and do things because we got a camping trip coming up. I want to go out for hikes with them and do things. It's at a place called Bear Lake, which is a place of bomb.
Bear
Um,
Lake. Bear
Bear,
Lake. Man, my parents have been to Yosemite. My parents have been to Yosemite, and I've been to Zion. You know Zion?
yeah, Zion. Yeah, I've been there. Yep.
You been there?
Oh yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
to Zion. My parents have been to Yosemite, and they actually hiked Half Dome.
Oh
Uh,
wow,
yeah,
that's cool.
my dad did. My dad's like he runs marathons and stuff.
Yeah.
But so when's that?
That is the first week of August, so it's
Oh,
July 31st.
that's like next week.
Yeah. Oh,
So do you think you're ready?
oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Cardiovascular
And
wise?
yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm pretty stoked, and that was actually back when I was getting fit back in 2018 was partially motivated by kids because when we went to Zion. Now that you mentioned that, I wanted to hike Angel's Landing,
Yeah.
and that was not something a big guy's going to do. You can't even fit on a trail if you're a big guy.
Dude, did you watch the thing with Alex Honnold, Free Solo?
No, no, what was that?
Oh, I think it's in Zion. He free, so he free climbs
Mhm.
it without any ropes. I forgot which one. El Capitan. El
Oh yeah.
Capitan. You gotta watch it. It's
Wow, I will.
crazy. But that's at Zion.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, so you would like to gain some muscle though.
Yeah, I think I'm getting to that point. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm trying to alter my goals and change my goals so that I have goals
Yeah.
because if you don't have an end goal, then there's no reason to keep going. So
Yeah. Okay, so I want to ask you a few more questions.
yeah.
So give the people watching a piece of advice. What do you think? Well, a two-part question. So for somebody watching who's like, they're lost, they need some motivation, what advice would you give to them? I mean, you said your why was your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I assume like they got to find their why.
Yeah, I mean that's really the biggest thing that I found is you need to know why you're doing it. You can't just want to do it just because I want to look good or I want to feel better. No, you have to have a why. You've got to have a reason, an end goal. Why? Yeah, but yeah, why are you doing this? For me, again, it was my kids. I wanted to be healthy with my kids. I wanted to be active with them. I wanted to be here in 10 years to celebrate, all the things that go along with that, with graduations and weddings and dances and pictures and God knows what.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, you have to know your why.
And then the second part question is, so you got, the workouts, cardio, food. What do you think is the biggest thing that helps you, see results?
The biggest thing was having food ready,
Okay.
something that's easy access. So the meal prepping, getting things ready on Sunday so that I can just grab it and heat it up and go. We all know life gets busy, and you're not going to sit down and cook every stinking meal. It's not going to happen. So I mean that was the biggest thing, and then also having a set time or a set gym time. Basically, I set the alarm and I would go
How
and
often do
just
you meal
stop making
prep?
excuses. Every Sunday is when I would do it,
Once
so I'd be
once
ready for the week. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
just once a week. So food and having a set time.
Yeah.
You go to the gym.
That's
You
what
feel
really helped me.
okay. What else did I ask? Did you have any questions for me?
Um, God, there was something. Now I can't remember what it is.
I mean, you lost
I'll
50
probably
pounds in
keep doing
6
it.
months, bro. You're probably one of one of my best client transformations is this year by far. And
Oh, well, thank
I
you.
really appreciate you, I really appreciate you taking things serious and following it. Because you'd be surprised how many people, get overwhelmed. Or I think what you said earlier is you're using fitness as an outlet to stay on track with your, other stuff.
Mhm.
And then the biggest thing that I got from this is you have a huge why, your kids,
Yeah.
but you also are incredibly mentally strong. Most people are not going to be able to stay on a meal plan. I mean, how many, you said 5 cheat meals, 6 cheat meals?
Maybe. Yeah. Right
In
around there. I haven't
6
had many.
months.
Hmm.
6 months,
Yep. Because
guys.
I know if I trip up too frequently, it's going to become habit. And I've already made a habit out of something else. And it's just, I know me. I know how I am. We all know how our individual bodies react
Yeah.
or how we are. And I know that I will get back into that and I will start doing that. Start going out to, I'll just stop and grab a burger real quick at lunch so I don't have to do whatever. And yeah, it's not going to work. I know that's not going to work for me.
So do
So
you feel that now you're in the habit of working out, going to the gym, eating clean? Like you feel like you're
mhm.
in a good rhythm now?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel awesome. Like last weekend, I had a birthday party. My mom, my youngest stepson, and my daughter. So I do have two stepsons from my previous marriage that I still keep in contact with one of them. But so their birthdays are all within 5 days of one another,
Oh God, that
and
sounds
we
stressful.
it slightly yes. Because my stepson was his birthday's the day before my daughter. Um, he wasn't real excited for her to come along. Speaking of which, but anyway, we had a birthday party last weekend, and my mom put it on this year, and had she bought 10 pizzas and had just all this crap for everybody to eat. And I mean, it was easy for me
Wait,
to
is
say
this
no. I had
welcome to my rap? Who is this? Is this your kid?
what?
Welcome
Oh
to
yes, that's him.
my. What's his name?
Yeah, that's Cooper.
Cooper. What's up? Okay, go on, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know that he's
Yeah,
on there. He's a
he's
great
been
kid.
commenting this whole time.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even notice.
So how'd you stay away from
Um,
pizza?
so I had my meal prep that I ate before I went over there. So I just ate that, and I just wasn't hungry.
So you
So
ate
I'll never.
before you went there.
Yep. And then I had a protein bar in the car just in case.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So most people would now. Does your not family support you? But what did what did your family say there? Did they just
Oh,
don't even say anything? Are they like,
they,
why aren't you eating the pizza?
yeah, yeah. They'll ask me, and I'll just tell them, I just don't want to have it. I just don't go into detail with it. I'm not going to argue with anybody about it. But for the most part, my family's been pretty supportive. My dad's side of the family, my parents been divorced for a long time, but my dad's side of the family, heavy drinkers, always have been. And my mom's side, there's a little bit of that, but it's mostly a food thing on that side. Um,
Okay.
but
Okay.
but they've all been respectful enough when I tell them no, that I don't want something, that they just drop it. So that's been helpful. But I still, I mean, like when we do family function, we'll do hamburgers or hot dogs or whatever. I'll just focus on try to focus on the protein and have that without a bun or whatever. So I still participate, but to a limited extent.
Well, I
So
will say
I'm
too.
not a fan of stuff.
I will say too, just for your knowledge, I always tell people you want to follow it very closely until you get your weight down, and then once you reach your desired goal, you can kind of be a little more lax, and you're not just going to gain fat right back. But I got to be careful when I tell that to people, because some people, I know me, if I have something bad, it's a snowball effect. I'm going to eat crappy for, it's hard to get back on track. But the reality is, like, you could have, you could have something, a good food, and it's not going to set you back as long as you limit it, because you already got your body fat down.
Right.
Now, if you want to get leaner, then obviously you got to stay tight with the diet. But once you get your weight down, it shouldn't be difficult to maintain. But you said you still wanted to continue getting leaner.
Yeah. Yep. I still want to get a little bit leaner, just to see what I can. At this point, it's just kind of a prove to myself that I can do it. And then, yeah. And like I said, there's been a couple times my like my kids wanted to go to have a movie night that when the new Spider-Man come out,
Yeah.
the whatever that cartoon
Yeah.
was. God, that was a terrible movie. But anyway, they had the whole Burger King meal thing and like the spider burger and the shake or whatever. We went. I had a hamburger with them, and had some fries, and it's whatever. Yeah, every now and again, it's not going to kill you.
No, especially once you, I mean, you lost 50 pounds. Once you saw the progress. The
Yeah.
problem with some people is as soon as you get the meal plan, oh, can I have a cheat meal? I'm like, no, they never, wait till you do something first. Like,
Right.
Now, I wanted to ask you, did your family say anything when they saw you or when they see you? Are they like, holy shit, you lost 50 pounds?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's every single one of them. We had a family reunion yesterday that I went to and had. I have no clue who she was, but comes up to me and she's like, "God, you look great." I'm like,
Wait, you have no
"Thanks."
clue who she is in your family reunion?
Yeah, I know.
You have a big
It's
family?
we're real tight, real tight.
Do you have a big family?
No, not really. It's just everybody's so spread out because over here, I mean, there's a lot of open land, and so it's like a 45-minute drive to get to any of their houses, and
Okay.
and it's nothing but open farmland, and yeah, so we don't get together much, and I'm not a big gatherings kind of person, so I don't usually go to them, but yeah, I mean, they've all been shocked. Even back like March and April, went to a family thing, and they were all like, "Good God, what are you doing?" Um, I've had a lot of people say that. I have a lot of customers come into my shop that say that. They're like, I mean, you're not losing weight because you have cancer, right?" I'm like, no, no, it's a
So
healthy
what do you
thing.
tell them?
Uh,
You just want
I
to.
just tell them that I just changed my mind on how I wanted to live, which is just obviously a very simplistic explanation,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
just made a decision and actually stuck with it for once. Because normally, like I said, I'm not typically, this isn't an average thing for me. So usually I'm the type of person that tries something and it's like, oh God, this is hard, and gives up. That's how I've been. And I just decided that this time, nope, not
Well,
going to do it.
you've had enough. Yeah, you've had
Yep.
enough. And like you
Hit my
said,
bottom.
you found your why.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, so it's been awesome, man, and you've been instrumental, and I really appreciate that. Just so you know, it's been huge having your help and guidance along the way. The weekly check-ins have been awesome too. It's accountability.
What do you
It's
think is the biggest part of my? Now, we'll do some plugging now. What do you think is
okay.
the biggest part of my plan that helps? Like, obviously having it, but you said accountability, the check-ins.
Mhm.
You think that's the biggest thing? Is just the
Uh,
accountability?
on your end of it, yes. I mean, obviously, anybody can go on Google and Google a meal plan or a workout routine, or you can get on YouTube. Obviously, you have tons of workout stuff on YouTube. Anybody can do that. It's the accountability. It's having somebody that is looking at your fat ass in those pictures and seeing how things are going. Like, God, I need to show him some improvement. I need to show something different. So that was actually pretty instrumental too. I should have brought that up earlier, but yeah, having somebody that I know is seeing this and looking for the results, looking at the composition and what's happening to say, okay, well, I need to adjust this or move that or whatever. Yeah, it's been awesome.
The accountability is huge because you can you can follow a plan yourself, but it's most people are going to stop or give up, or it's just like an extra guidance. So I appreciate you saying that. All right, cool, man. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I really appreciate you, man. You've set me on your plans and your fitness routines have set me on a fantastic path. I actually just recently got my personal trainer certification myself,
Awesome.
and you've been instrumental in this. Honestly, you have, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for everything that you do.
Yeah, wow, man, thank you. I appreciate it. And now you got my cell phone number, bro. But
Yeah.
I noticed you have an Android.
Yes, I do.
I saw the
Yep.
green text, and I was like, "Oh boy, he's got an Android." I didn't go straight through. Yeah, but
Yeah.
all right, man. Josh, thanks for your time, and thanks for being a client and doing such a great job.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate the invite, and it's great talking to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, bye. You should just be able to exit out there.
I don't know how the devil do anything.
Or I'll exit out of it. Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. All right, guys. That was Josh. I posted his Joshua Archibald. I posted his transformation several times, and amazing. You guys, amazing.